Tonight, in Kansas City, Missouri, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, a 38-year-old man will walk out of a tunnel for the very first time at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. 76,000 people will be on their feet, 90 million people watching from Argentina, hundreds of millions more watching from every corner of the planet, and every single one of them will be watching for the same reason. Lionel Messi, the defending world champions, the greatest player in history, his first match at his sixth and final World Cup. But standing in their way tonight is Algeria, a team that hasn't been at a World Cup since 2014, a team that nobody is really talking about, a team that beat the Netherlands in a friendly 1 week ago and scored 7 goals against Guatemala in their last warm-up, a team that 12 years ago held the eventual world champions Germany to a draw for 90 full minutes before losing in extra time, a team that in 1982, in their very first World Cup appearance, beat West Germany, the future world champions, 2-1, one of the greatest upsets in the history of this tournament. Algeria are not here to make up the numbers. And tonight, before we talk about predictions, before we talk about tactics and formations and likely scorelines, I want to tell you what is really at stake in this match, what this night actually means. Because this is not just a football game, this is the beginning of the final chapter. To understand what tonight means for Argentina, you have to understand what happened 4 years ago. Qatar, 2022, Group C, Match Day 1, Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. In the 10th minute, Messi scored. Argentina took the lead. They looked comfortable. They looked like world champions in waiting. By halftime, 3 Argentina goals had been ruled offside, but they were still 1-up. Then the second half began. Saudi Arabia's manager had made one change at halftime. He pushed his defensive line higher, much higher, aggressively high, almost dangerously high. And in the 48th minute, Salah Al-Shehri equalized. 5 minutes later, Salem Al-Dosari scored one of the greatest World Cup goals of all time, a curling strike that flew into the top corner. Argentina were losing 2-1 to Saudi Arabia. They went on to lose that match. In one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history, Argentina, the tournament favorites, the Copa América champions, lost their opening game. In the dressing room afterwards, Messi sat quietly. Players wept. Coaches stared at the floor. The dream of another World Cup looked like it was over before it had even started. And then something happened that nobody will ever fully explain. Argentina won every single game after that. They won the round of 16. They won the quarterfinal. They won the semifinal. They went to the final, went 3-1 up against France, got pegged back to 3-3 in the most dramatic comeback in World Cup final history, and won on penalties. Messi lifted the trophy. And tonight, 4 years later, that same team, that same captain, that same manager walks out again. With the same gold star on their chest, but with a new one stitched beside it. And the first question Lionel Scaloni and his players have been asking themselves since the draw was made is this: can we make sure we do not do what we did in Qatar? Can we make sure we do not lose Game 1? Let me tell you what Algeria are bringing to Kansas City tonight. Because if you think this is going to be an easy 90 minutes for Argentina, you have not been paying attention. Algeria qualified for this World Cup in dominant fashion. They won their qualifying group. They were organized, hard to beat, and dangerous on the counterattack. Their coach, Vladimir Petkovic, is a highly experienced European manager who has worked at the highest levels of club and international football. He is not the kind of man who is going to arrive at a World Cup and ask his players to just survive. He will have a plan, a real one. Their key player is Riyad Mahrez. He is 35 years old, same generation as Messi and Ronaldo, carrying the same sense that this is a last chance. He plays in Saudi Arabia now, after his years at Manchester City, where he won 4 Premier League titles and a Champions League. He is technical, quick, dangerous with both feet, and capable of deciding a game in a single moment of individual brilliance. Alongside him is Mohamed Amoura, the young Wolfsburg striker who scored 10 goals in qualifying, the most of any Algerian player in the campaign. He has pace, directness, and a finishing instinct that teams at this World Cup will have to respect. Algeria also have solidity in midfield. Houssem Aouar, who plays his football in France, provides creativity and intelligence from deep. The defensive block that Petkovic organizes is hard to break down quickly. And they have a tactical weapon that nobody is discussing enough. Algeria beat the Netherlands 1-0 in a friendly in June 2026. The Netherlands, the team ranked 8th in the world, a team with Virgil van Dijk and Cody Gakpo and Xavi Simons. Algeria beat them, and they did it with a low defensive block and lethal counterattacks. Now, think about what that means for tonight. If Algeria can set up the same way against Argentina, deep, organized, compact, and hit them on the break through Mahrez and Amoura, they have a genuine chance of making this a very uncomfortable night for the defending world champions. It will not be easy, but it is absolutely possible. Now let me tell you what Argentina are bringing, and why, despite everything I just said, I still believe Argentina will win this match tonight. Lionel Scaloni has had 4 years since Qatar to build on that squad, and what he has created is arguably the most complete Argentine team since the 1986 generation of Maradona. In goal, Emiliano Martinez, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, the man whose penalty saves won the World Cup in Qatar, one of the best in the world in one-against-one situations. If Algeria break and get through on goal, they will have to beat him. At the back, Christian Romero, who plays his club football at Tottenham. Nahuel Molina at right back, Nicolas Tagliafico on the left. This is an experienced, organized defensive unit that knows exactly how to manage high-pressure moments. In midfield, Alexis McAllister and Enzo Fernandez. These two are the engine of everything Argentina do. They win the ball, they move it quickly, they break through the lines. Rodrigo de Paul adds intensity and work rate. This midfield is one of the best at the entire tournament. And in attack, Lautaro Martinez, the Inter Milan striker. He finished the Serie A season as the top scorer with 17 goals in 30 games. He is the man Scaloni trusts to lead the line. His movement, his pressing, his finishing, he will cause Algeria's defenders enormous problems tonight. And then there is Thiago Almada, the young Argentine playmaker who has been in extraordinary form and who links Messi in the attack with intelligence and creativity. And at the center of everything, Lionel Messi. Now here is where things get complicated. Messi has been managing a hamstring issue throughout the lead-up to this tournament. In Argentina's last warm-up, the 3-0 win over Iceland on June 10th, he came on as a substitute and scored a penalty. He was not used from the start. Scaloni has made no public announcement about whether Messi will start tonight. He might start. He might come off the bench again. Either way, and this is the crucial point, whether Messi starts this match or not, his presence on the pitch at any moment changes everything. Algeria's defenders cannot commit fully to attacking positions when Messi is on the pitch. Their midfield cannot push high when they know one moment of Messi genius could split them open. He does not even have to touch the ball to affect this game. That is what 38 years and 8 Ballon d'Or trophies look like in practice. Let me give you some numbers that frame this match. Argentina have won 7 consecutive matches without conceding more than 1 goal in any of them. They have not been beaten since a 1-0 loss to Ecuador in a World Cup qualifier in September 2025, 9 months ago. Messi is 3 goals away from the all-time World Cup scoring record. He currently has 13, equal with Gabriel Batistuta. Miroslav Klose holds the record with 16. 3 goals in one tournament from Lionel Messi at a World Cup is not only possible, it is expected. Scaloni is attempting to become the first manager to win back-to-back World Cups since Vittorio Pozzo won it with Italy in 1934 and 1938. That was 88 years ago. Nobody has done it since. If Argentina win this tournament, they will become only the 3rd nation in history to win consecutive World Cups, after Italy and Brazil. These are not just statistics. These are the weight of history that Messi and this Argentine squad carry into every single match they play. Now let me break down how I think this match will actually unfold tactically. Algeria will set up in a low block, probably a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2 defensive shape. They will sit deep, invite Argentina to have the ball, and look to spring Mahrez and Amoura in behind on counterattacks. This is the most logical approach and frankly the only realistic way Algeria can get a result. If they try to play open football against Argentina, they will be picked apart. Messi, Lautaro, McAllister, and Almada are all too clever and too quick for that. Argentina will have the ball, a lot of it. They will probe, they will work it wide, they will look for the moments to play in behind the Algerian line. The key battle to watch is in the wide areas. Nahuel Molina on Argentina's right will push forward constantly. He is one of the best attacking right-backs in world football. On the other side, Tagliafico gives Argentina width and creativity from the left. If Algeria's wingers cannot get back to help their fullbacks, those wide areas will be the spaces Argentina exploit. I also expect Argentina to use set pieces as a major weapon. Messi delivers corners and free kicks with surgical precision. Romero and Lautaro are powerful in the air. Against a well-organized Algerian defense, set pieces may actually be the most efficient way Argentina break through. The danger for Argentina is the transition. If Mahrez receives the ball in space with time to drive at the Argentine defense, he is capable of creating real problems. And if Algeria can score first, if they can somehow take the lead in this match, the dynamic of the game changes completely. 4 years ago, Saudi Arabia took the lead against Argentina. We all know how that went. Here is my prediction for tonight. I believe Argentina will win this match 3-0. Here is why. Argentina's defensive organization means Algeria are unlikely to score. Emiliano Martinez is too good. Romero and the back four are too experienced. Algeria's counterattacking threat is real, but Argentina have the intelligence and pace in their defensive structure to manage it. And Argentina's attack is too good for Algeria's defense over 90 minutes. The longer this game goes on, the more Algerian legs will tire. And when those legs tire, that is when Messi or Lautaro or McAllister or Almada find the space they need. I think Argentina score in the first half, probably through Lautaro from a set piece or a cutback from the left. They score again in the second half, probably through Messi or Almada, and then a third in the final 20 minutes as Algeria push forward chasing the game and leave space behind. 3-0. Argentina. A clean sheet. Messi gets minutes, and the title defense is firmly, confidently underway. But I want to leave you with something. Every prediction about this Argentina team in Qatar 2022 was built on the assumption that they would cruise through. And in Game 1, they did not cruise. They stumbled. And then they found something. Something that you cannot measure with statistics or tactics or odds. Resilience. Heart. The absolute refusal to accept that the story was over. So yes, I believe Argentina win tonight. I believe it will be a comfortable victory. But if you are watching tonight, watch Messi. Watch the way he moves, even when he does not have the ball. Watch the way Algeria's defenders watch him instead of the ball. Watch the way this entire team becomes something more than the sum of its parts when he is on the pitch. Because you will not see this again. Not at a World Cup. Not from him. Whatever happens tonight, savor it. My final prediction, Argentina 3, Algeria 0. Messi scores or assists. Lautaro scores twice. Argentina are comfortable throughout. Algeria make it difficult in the opening 20 minutes, but cannot sustain the pressure. Argentina win Group J, and the story continues. Drop your prediction in the comments below. Do you think Algeria can pull off the upset, or is this Argentina's year again? Subscribe to When Football Speaks. I will have the full post-match breakdown live after the final whistle tonight. See you then.